a mic to you.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Kind of brought this up just before with Mark, but you, Mark, Jonathan, all coming in, same position, ambitions to start. You ended up at defense. Those guys ended up, having to fight for their opportunity long term. How have you guys made an impact on the program in your point of view, the way you've persevered, stuck with the program, and found your roles?
Right. I say first and foremost, the biggest thing that helped all of us was all of us had an extremely positive attitude. When you come in here, everybody has the aspirations to start and make a big impact. Obviously, that wasn't the case for us, but we found other ways to affect the team in different ways. So myself, I felt that it was best for me to move the defense and have an impact there. Mark Allen, he's been extremely positive. He's been a leader in the running back room for years now. Has been somebody that the younger guys could come to, whether they were above him or below him on the depth chart. Jonathan Thomas, Coach might have touched on it a little bit, but he's done anything asked of him by anybody in this program. He's excelled with that. He's been positive all the time, and it's just been working. And he's a guy like Mark where anybody can come to him. He has the utmost respect from everybody in this program. And so, Saturday it was extremely awesome to see him get his first career touchdown. We were all happy for him.
Nick, obviously, captain's with him this year. You were the special teams captain last year. Where have you seen Blake grow in a leadership role, and then also just as a punter?
Right. So, one thing about Blake is he's always working. He's always trying to perfect his craft. He's always outside kicking balls. He's extremely vocal in the locker room, which is how he sort of stepped into that leadership role. But it's really nice to see him grow the way he has. He came in sort of on the quieter side, but as he got more and more of an impact on special teams, he's been an outlet and a voice of encouragement, as well as laying the hammer for the younger guys and executing what we want done on special teams.
Yeah, were you on the punt team last year or gunner or anything?
Yeah, I was. I believe I started on all 4 special teams last year.
Okay. What's it like when he's trying to pin someone within the 10, 20 on the punt team? What's it like kind of just trying to get down there, and how do you think he holds it up?
I think he does an extremely good job. We have some great gunners, a lot of speed on the outside, which, you put that all together with Kyle Vasey, who gets a free release. I think we're pretty good. Of course, we want to improve in every area and keep taking steps forward in the area. But, Blake is a weapon for us, and we have some guys like Vasey and our gunners, Lamont, Donovan Johnson, guys who can get down there and pin people deep.
Staying on the subject of special teams coverage, put yourself in the shoes of someone trying to contain KJ Hamler, DeAndre Tompkins. How are those guys handling themselves in their roles, and how much of a threat do they pose against every opponent this season?
Right. So I think those guys are doing extremely well in their roles. They're very explosive, very electric. So we're excited to see what they can do this weekend against Illinois. They've been consistent so far, and we've been following the game plan. We have some things in place for this weekend, so we're excited to see what they can do this Friday.
Nick, last time you guys played Illinois, you threw a touchdown pass, which was a very long time ago at this point.
True.
To Hack. I mean, do you ever have these moments where you go like, my goodness, I have played a lot of football here for a very long time?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I tell people all the time I feel like a grandfather in the locker room, being 23 years old, being a fifth-year senior. I'm definitely I wouldn't be surprised if I'm actually the oldest guy on the roster. But, I look back and I'm extremely grateful for this opportunity that I had, and I only want to continue to be more successful this season.
What do you think these young guys are going to learn in Big Ten play about getting punched by teams? The last couple, not literally punched, although that would be interesting. Like going down, that can be mentally. That's just like now we're behind. I mean, what do guys have to learn about that to get back out in front?
I don't think we ever coach or prepare to be behind, but you just got to play 4 quarters of football. That's something that we preach day in and day out. We got to play a complete game, and deficits, leads, that will take care of itself.
Nick, how do you think the leadership is maybe different on the team this year? Because you've, like you said, been around a lot, a lot of different groups. Is it different this year, do you think?
Yeah, that's a little bit of a difficult question. It's different in the sense that, we had some guys who had left, and so that's different leadership styles and personalities that aren't accounted for. But I would say in terms of respect, in terms of the message we're preaching and the goals we're going after, it's the same.
Coach Franklin said a couple of weeks ago that he's kind of turned the team over a little bit more so to the captains this year than he has in the past. And he mentioned like the training off as on or off as an example of that.
Right.
What does it mean that he's maybe giving you guys a little more leadership in that regard?
It obviously means a lot in terms of trust, but in terms of details, that's something that we like to keep in-house. So yeah, he mentioned that, and that's what we've done. But in terms of the details of that, I'd rather not explain.
No, that's fine. But he also mentioned this book, Legacy, about the All Blacks, and I think he showed you guys clips of it.
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone read this book on the team, or because somebody said he thought maybe he handed out copies, but
Yeah, I think some guys have read the book. He handed it out a little bit ago. The main takeaway he wanted us to get from that book is just the sense of ownership that those guys have, whether it's the leader or the guy at the bottom of the roster. Everybody takes ownership. There's no task too big or too small for anybody on that team, and that's something that he preaches towards us, and that's something that we want to live by.
has he handed out books before, or is this a new thing?
He's definitely suggested books in the past, yeah.
How would you describe Big Ten play here in Morris to somebody who doesn't know anything about Big Ten football?
Right. I'd say it's extremely competitive. You got to bring your A game all the time. There's no team that you can overlook. There's no team that's too good for you. There's no team that's below you. You always have to approach each game the same, as if it's your Super Bowl. And if you're able to do that on a consistent basis and give everybody the respect that they deserve in this league, you have a good chance of being competitive.
I think at one point in the third quarter, maybe second quarter on Saturday, you had 4 true freshmen playing on the defense at the same time. How have you seen your group manage a youth movement and also the experienced guys making sure that they're doing what they need to accomplish early this season?
Right. One thing I like to preach to the younger guys is that when you're on the field, that you are the starter. Whoever's on the field, whatever their age is, how many years they've played here, if they're out there, that means that they have the coach's trust. So what they want to do is they want to execute. They want to withhold the standard of their respective position group, of their respective side of the ball. And if they're able to do that, they'll continue to grow as a player and obviously gain more trust from coaches.
Nick, I think it was a couple weeks ago we were able to talk to Coach Banks on a conference call, and he said that Lamont has, kind of just growing into the position that, obviously switching over from corner. Where have you seen him make strides so far this season? Have you seen him from week 1 or, spring ball to now make strides, and in what areas would it be?
I would say, just growing into the position, he's definitely become a lot more confident, and he's also understanding the game better and better each week, which is a testament to our defensive staff, Coach Banks, Coach Pry, all those guys, and Coach Franklin. He's learning. He's learning every day. We all know he's extremely talented in terms of athleticism, so the sky is the limit for him. But he has come along a long way in terms of his understanding of the game.
Hi, Nick. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks. So it's been a very long time since Penn State's played a Friday night game. How are you guys preparing for that in terms of changing up the schedule? And Franklin mentioned that some of the younger players, it might be pretty easy for them because Friday night games are like a high school thing. So how are some of the older players adjusting as well?
I don't think it's much of an adjustment. It's a regular game week for us. We're approaching it that way. Nothing, to my knowledge, has changed for us. It's just moved up a day necessarily, but everything is pretty much the same. Everything's in line with what we do each week.
Thank you. Hey, Nick. What kind of guys Tariq Castro feels like off the field, and what have you seen from him in his first 2 starts?
So Tariq, he's a real positive guy off the field. He's a guy that you can count on to do the right things day in and day out. He's very mature in that aspect. And, he's played very well these last couple of games. It's no secret that he's talented. He was a true freshman last year, and he's stepping in and playing his role well this season. And I think, like Lamont, the sky is the limit for him as his knowledge of the game increases. He'll continue to play even faster than he's playing right now.
We heard something from James Franklin I'm still trying to wrap my head around. Jason Oweh, 6'5", almost 250, was the fastest 40-yard dash among incoming freshmen. 2 sacks on Saturday. Mm-hmm. You see him every day working out on the practice field. What do you think this young man can accomplish? And I'm sure you're well aware that he did not have much football experience before he got to college.
Right. I think, I hate to say it again, but the sky is the limit for Jason Oweh. I mean, these guys that we have, these younger players, they're extremely talented. And with that talent, they need to accompany the understanding of the game and how to attack their direct opponent. One of the things I'm most impressed with is the amount of support Jason Oweh has from the older D linemen. They're constantly teaching him new things to add to his game. They're constantly working with him after practice, doing hand drills with him, just talking with him about how he can be a better defensive end. So that's a huge testament to, Sharif Miller, who's a leader of that group, sort of taking Jason Oweh under his wing, Shaka Toney, those guys. But, it's very impressive to watch him. He's extremely athletic, like you said. And I think if he just continues to buy into this program and how he want to do things, which he's been doing phenomenally, he'll be a great player here.
A little bit about Lamont before. What is his personality like out on the field? Because from where we're watching, it looks like there's a certain bounce in his step, and I think you mentioned confidence. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Lamont is a high-energy guy, which we love about him. He does have a lot of bounce in his step. He's funny. Guys just want to be around him. He's got that sort of energy about him, which is great. He's a great teammate. He's a guy that can put a smile on anybody's face at any time, and like you said, you can see that reflected on the field with his speed, his energy, how he celebrates after the play. He's just a real cool guy, high-energy guy, lifts the team up when necessary, and he's good at what he does.
It's very rare that you see a player get called out by an opposing coach like he was in the Pitt game. How do you think he reacted to that?
Lamont, he's extremely mature. And I think he's been reacting well to it. He hasn't said much about it. He's just been keeping his head down and working hard.
Nick, we've gotten to see Jonathan Sutherland a couple of times the past few games on defense. Where have you seen him grow this season, getting a little bit more snaps?
Right. He's starting to play a lot faster, which just comes with his comfort. He's starting to sort of know his role. He's getting better at identifying his assignment, how people want to attack him, and where he needs to be at certain times. And, once he's able to do that, I think you guys can see he's extremely aggressive in his style of play, which is something that defensive players as well as coaches love about him. So just excited to see him continue to grow and gain experience playing more snaps for us.
Hey, Nick. You said earlier, you joked around saying that you feel like a grandpa. I just got to ask, do any teammates actually call you, grandpa, joking around with you? And even if not, who has the best nickname on the football team? The
best nickname on the team? I don't think nobody calls me actual grandpa on the team, but who has the best nickname on the team? I would probably say Mark Allen. Some people call him, well, he likes to call himself a dog. Some people call him Big Dog Mark. But we've just started catching on more to calling him Scooby, like Scooby-Doo, the dog. So I think he has the best nickname right now.
I think it was maybe last week or 2 weeks ago. Mike Motti was back on campus, and he was at practice. I don't know, did he talk to you guys, or is there any interaction with him?
Yeah, we were able to talk to him a little bit outside of practice and things like that. He's a great guy. He's a guy that I definitely look up to. I knew his name when I was a recruit. I knew everything about him, watching him and all that stuff, and I knew he was extremely respected around this campus and especially on the team. So when he came here, he's definitely a guy that I was interested in picking his brain about and talking to him about his experience and ways I could be a better leader and things like that. And I look forward to staying in contact with him and using him as a guy just to work on my growth.
Did anything he say really resonate with you in particular, or is just kind of?
His encouragement, just him telling me that to continue to lead and that people looked up to me, and just doing whatever I could do that would better this team, being unselfish and things like that.
All right. Thank you, Nick. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.